In 5 years, you'll say one of two things. Wow, I actually did what I said I'd do. Or, how did 5 years pass and everything's still the same? There's no in-between. No soft middle where things half happen. You're either building or you're delaying. The scary part? You don't see the shift while it's happening. You just wake up one day and realize you stayed in motion, but never move forward. You don't need a radical reset or some painful rock-bottom awakening. What determines your future isn't a grand, cinematic moment. It's a tiny, repeatable choice you make every single day. One that feels too small to matter, until it defines everything that matters. This is the truth nobody says loud enough. Your future self isn't waiting to find you. It's waiting for you to finally choose them. So the only real question is, will today be a turning point or another rerun? Here's the truth that stings a little. Every day, before the world even touches you, you make a choice. Most people don't even notice it, and that's exactly the problem. Wake up, grab your phone, check social media, scroll for 15 minutes, maybe reply to a few texts. It feels innocent, but what you just did was vote for autopilot. You handed your attention to everyone else before you gave any to yourself. That's not just a distraction, it's direction in reverse. Now flip the script. Wake up, sit up, breathe, don't touch your phone. Maybe you stretch. Maybe you drink water. You look around and you remember you're alive. That's not a morning ritual. That's a warning shot to chaos. That's choosing intention. Every day, you either defer your life or design it. There's no third option. This loop is always running, subconscious or not. Think about it. Past you gets the credit, present you holds the key, and future you pays the price. So if you're still quietly hoping life will just click someday, understand this. It's not waiting to click, it's waiting on your vote. You've already been choosing. Just not for the version of you actually want to become. Every morning is a silent fork in the road. And most of us hit later without even realizing we're saying no to the life we keep saying we want. Let's get one thing straight. You're not lazy, you're chemically outgunned. Every morning, your brain wakes up inside a battle. On one side, cortisol slowly rising to get you moving. On the other, dopamine begging you to chase something easy, familiar, and instantly satisfying. And guess what? Dopamine usually wins because your brain doesn't care about your principles. It cares about energy efficiency and survival. And if it knows that opening Instagram takes less energy than writing in your journal or getting uncomfortable, it's going to drive you toward that dopamine burst like a heat-seeking missile. Enter the QCR loop. Cue, craving, response. It starts with a cue. Your alarm goes off. You feel mildly annoyed. Then the craving kicks in. Something pleasurable. Scroll, snack, snooze. Response? You grab your phone. Brain, well done. You've rewarded avoidance, again. And every time this happens, your neural pathways tighten that loop. Eventually, you're not just reacting, you've programmed your default. Comfort replaces clarity. Reaction replaces intention. You call it a habit. But really, it's a system. And that system always runs unless interrupted. But here's the kicker. Habits can't be broken, but they can be out-designed. Because in that same QCR loop is your way out. If you understand how you're wired, you stop fighting yourself. You start winning with different triggers. New cravings. Better responses. So if you've been wondering why it's so hard to change, you're not broken. You're behaving exactly how your brain was built. Now the question becomes, so what flips the default? Comfort feels amazing today, shameful tomorrow. We all know the script. Wake up, hit snooze, just 5 more minutes. Phone buzzes, scroll a little. Suddenly it's 8:17. And you're racing the morning like it wronged you personally. You skip breakfast, skip silence, skip intention. Your mind's already cluttered. Notifications, emails, other. People's priorities. You live the entire day reacting, not choosing. And at night you're drained, but can't even say why. Now flip it. Wake up, sit up. Still groggy, but you don't argue with the alarm. Water goes down, not dopamine. You move, stretch, breathe. Then comes one goal, written, not thought. You map your day before it maps you. You haven't spoken to a soul, but you've already said something. Powerful to yourself. I'm in charge today. Same morning. Same 24 hours. Radically different compounding effect. This is the math most people never do. 5 minutes of intention buys 5 days of momentum. 5 minutes of comfort steals 5 years of progress. Because the gap between your dreams and your reality, that's built in tiny 5-minute decisions. It's not about grand life overhauls. It's about whether you pick ease or ownership when the alarm hits. One leads to survival. The other, to self-respect with interest. This is where the one choice becomes a real routine. A ritual not of productivity, but of identity. You don't need 10 apps, a bulletproof schedule, or a monk's discipline. You need one intentional hour. That's it. 1 hour, dedicated to becoming who you say you want to be. Here's the full breakdown. Steal it, tweak it, live it. 1. Water. Yes, before coffee, your brain just spent 7-8 hours dehydrated while solving pretend problems in your dreams. Reboot it, refill it. Glass to your lips within 90 seconds of waking. It's not a hydration tip, it's a symbolic reset. Dreams over, now I build. 2. Movement. Hit 10 push-ups, walk the block, stretch like your life depends on it. Because your identity kinda does. Movement shocks the fog out of your muscles. It tells your system, we're not surviving, we're showing up. Bonus, existential dread builds character. Especially with lunges. 3. Write one goal, not 10 to-dos. Not get my life together. One clear target. Write it down like a contract made in ink, not in hopes. Because clarity in the morning equals courage the rest of the day. 4. Read or reflect. 1 page of scripture, a line of philosophy, a minute of silence. Anchor yourself to something higher than headlines and algorithms. You're not just waking up, you're aligning. 5. No inputs until output. Your notifications can wait. That meme won't disappear. Don't hand your brain to the internet before you've used it for yourself. Guard this space like it holds your legacy. Because it does. Don't mistake this hour for a quick productivity fix. It won't change your life overnight. But stacked consistently, 365 times, 5 years straight, you're looking at 1,025. Identity votes for the version of you that doesn't fold, doesn't drift, doesn't scroll through life. This is how future legends are made. One quiet decision at dawn. You become the kind of person who doesn't fight for motivation, because discipline shows up automatically. You become the type who's grounded when things go wrong, focused when the world's a mess, and courageous enough to move without a crowd cheering for you. You don't need 10 alarms, a podcast, and 3 coffees just to leave your bed. You rise with clarity. You move with intention. You begin your day not in reaction, but with purpose already decided. Over time, you start making better choices in the hard moments. Not because you're forcing it, but because it's who you are now. You stop negotiating with distraction. You stop apologizing to your future self. You break patterns your past self thought were permanent. You become someone you trust. And the ripple, it hits everything. Your focus gets sharper, your mind steadier, your decisions cleaner. You stop hoping life will change, and you start driving the change. Say yes to that hour. Every day. It won't be flashy, but gradually, it turns the version of you you've talked about into the one who shows up. On time, on fire. On purpose, nothing explodes. No rock bottom. No dramatic breakdown. You just drift. Mornings blur. Days loop. You still get things done, kind of. But it's all noise. No rhythm, no clarity. You wake up tired. Go to sleep more tired. And somewhere in between, you scroll past life-changing advice you'll try next week. You keep telling yourself you'll start soon. When the timing's right. When things settle. When motivation hits. But it doesn't. Because later is the most loyal trap comfort ever built. Time doesn't stop while you delay. It just gets spent becoming someone else. Someone you never meant to be. This version of you still exists if you keep choosing negotiations over decisions. Still alive, still online, but disconnected from the person you could have been. Change doesn't require disaster. Just another day of postponing the one choice that could have made the difference. One choice. Every day. Made early. Protected like your legacy depends on it. Because it does. Put it in the comments if tomorrow you're starting at 5 a.m. Drop I choose control if you're done letting the day own you. No pressure. Just a decision. Just identity being. Built while most people are still negotiating with their snooze button. Come back in 5 days, 5 weeks, or 5 years. Tell this version of you what changed. Because the next 5 years are coming either way. Just make sure you're the one arriving, not surviving.